أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة من مثله وادعوا شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين فإن لم تفعلوا ولن تفعلوا فاتقوا النار التي وقودها الناس والحجارة أعدت للكافرين وبشر الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أن لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار كلما رزقوا منها من ثمرة رزقا قالوا كلما رزقوا منها من ثمرة رزقا قالوا هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل وأتوا به متشابها ولهم فيها أزواج مطهرة وهم فيها خالدون إن الله لا يستحيي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين. All right, Jibrail.
وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة من مثله وادعوا شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين فإن لم تفعلوا ولن تفعلوا فاتقوا النار التي وقودها الناس
والحجارة.
حجارة
Yeah.
والحجارة أعدت
This ha will be sharp. والحجارة. I said that this ha will be
والحي
sharp. Yeah.
والحجارة
Yeah.
أعدت للكافرين وبشر الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أن لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار
تحتها الأنهار
كلما رزقوا منها من ثمرة الرزق قالوا هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل وأتوا به
وأتوا به
وأتوا به
ها 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 ها
متشابها
وأتوا به stretch it man وأتوا به
وأتوا به متشابها ولهم فيها أزواج مطهرة وهم فيها خالدون إن الله لا يستحيي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا
Mathala.
لم
Na na na
يوسف
na. This is obligatory stop, man. Come on. Mathala.
Oh, okay. Matala. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I thought it was the
No, no, no.
yeah.
That meme is a different one. That meme looks differently. It looks like this. Here. This is,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. يذل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يذل به إلا الفاسقين
All right.
إلا الفاسقين.
Aziza, your turn now.
Okay. وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بسورة
Fa. Okay.
من
Fa'tu. Say. Fa'tu.
فأتوا
Yeah.
بسورة من مثله وادعوا
No.
شهداءكم
No. Why are you connecting Sheen with her? Shuhada. Akum.
شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين
Sadiqeen. Make the cough more powerful. Sadiqeen.
صادقين
Yeah.
فإن لم تفعلوا ولن تفعلوا فاتقوا النار التي وقودها الناس والحجارة أعدت للكافرين
Yeah.
وبشر
Now,
الذين
press the Sheen for
آمنوا
1 second. There is tashteed on it. Come on.
وبشر الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أن لهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار كلما رزقوا
رزقوا.
منها من
رزقوا.
رزقوا منها من ثمرة الرزق قالوا هذا الذي رزقنا من قبل وأتوا به متشابها ولهم فيها أزواج
As no 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 no. It is za. Come on. Azwajum mutahharah.
أزواج مطهرة وهم فيها خالدون
Khali-
إن الله
Khalidun. No pausing in the middle of the word. Khalidun.
خالدون
Yeah.
إن الله لا يستحيي أن يضرب
Ain
مثلا
yadriba. Say. Ain yadriba.
أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها
Yeah.
فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله بهذا مثلا
Yeah.
يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين الذين
صدق الله العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم.
These people
صدق
described
الله.
above are the ones who are on guidance from their Rabb, and they are the successful ones who will successfully gain entry into Jannah and will be saved from Jahannam. So Allah in the Quran has described the criteria that who is the person who is a really successful person and who is the person who is not really the successful person. So no matter what the trend tells us and no matter what the world says, we will not follow the society or the government or the people around us claiming that does success means this or success means that. The creator, Allah, who has created the whole universe and all the humans, he is the one who will set the standards that who is a really successful person and who is not. So, who is the successful one? Number one, he is a muttaqi. He abstains from sins and does good deeds. Number two, he is able to gain guidance from the Quran and the Sunnah. Number three, he has strong faith in the unseen. Whatever Allah and His Prophet has mentioned in Quran and Hadith, and it cannot be seen, it is the part of the unseen, but still those people have strong faith in the unseen. Number four, he is the one who will establish salah, fulfill all the requirements of salah, and he will have a very strong connection with Allah. And number five, he will spend whatever wealth Allah has given to him in the way of Allah. He will give charity, help the poor, etc. And he will have strong faith on all the revelations of Allah, provided that they are in their original form. And sixth, he will also believe in the Akhirah at the day of judgment. Now, these are the people who have these characteristics, who are on the path of guidance, and they are the successful ones. They are one of those people whom Allah has mentioned in Surah Al Fatiha that show us the paths of those who are your favored ones. Ihdina Sirat al Mustaqim. Show us the path of your favored ones. Sirat
Yeah.
al Ladina An'amta alayhim. The way, the path of those whom you have honored or whom you have blessed. So they are the one of those whom Allah have blessed, who have strong faith in Allah in the unseen, who establish prayer, and who pay the zakah, charity, and also they believe in all the scriptures sent by Allah. They believe in the Quran, they believe in the day of judgment, they abstain from sins, do good deeds. They are the blessed ones, they are the successful ones. Allah has declared them the successful ones. Verily, it makes no difference to the kafirun, those destined to die as disbelievers, whether you warn them or do not warn them, they will still not have iman. Okay. But this is about those staunch enemies of Islam and the non-believers who did not accept Islam despite of witnessing its miracles, despite of knowing the truth that Islam is the true religion, but still they did not accept it and they rejected it. Uh, that type of deep kafirun or deep non-believers, they are the people which are being mentioned here. That no matter you tell them the right thing or not, they will not change. Their hearts will not change. Allah has placed a seal upon their hearts so that no good enters it, and upon their hearing, so they do not heed what they hear, while there is a veil over their eyes, so they do not see the truth. There shall be a terrible severe and eternal punishment. Okay, why Allah has sealed their hearts? Because in the beginning, All the humans are neutral. All the humans
Mhm.
are neutral in the beginning. Now, when a person tells them, introduces them to Islam, or if they watch a video, or they read the Quran by any chance, or they listen to a sermon of a scholar, if they are neutral, their hearts will be affected in a positive manner. Now, if after being exposed to true nature of Islam, I'm not talking about those people who give a bad name to the Muslims, who, in the name of Allah, kill innocent people. I'm not talking about those scoundrels, those bad guys. I'm talking about that if a person is truly exposed to the true nature of Islam, and his heart and his mind is accepting the truth, and he is understanding the facts and the concepts of Islam, that uh, they are very well balanced and according to the nature of man and woman, and there is nothing extreme, there is nothing bad in Islam. He understands all of these things, but despite of all this, he does not accept Islam and becomes the enemy of Islam. Why? Because of greed. Because if he leaves Islam, he will lose wealth, he will lose his relatives, his parents, his family. He will lose his friends, and he does not want to lose all of these things, his position, his power, his importance in the society. So he does not want to lose his dunya, the life of this world, and he wants to bargain on it, and he wants to just reject his afterlife. He gives more importance to the life of this world instead of giving importance to the life of after death. So if there is such a person, then after rejecting the truth and after understanding the truth and rejecting it, only then his heart is sealed. If a person does not understand Islam and if he is against Islam, there is still room for him to come back to Islam. Because the problem is that has not understood the Islam properly yet, or he has not been exposed to true Muslims yet. So the doors of guidance are opened for that person. They are open for that person, and he can choose Islam anytime. As soon as he will realize the truth of Islam, he will accept it. That is a totally different scenario. A person who is ignorant and he is against Islam or he is not accepting Islam is a separate story. I am talking about a person, or in this verse, that person is being mentioned who has the
Hmm.
knowledge, who knows the truth, who understands it, comprehends it, but still denies it because of his greed. That is the person
Hmm.
whose heart will be sealed. And when his heart will be sealed, what does it mean that his heart will be sealed? You can say that his understanding will be camouflaged, or it will be covered by dirt. What you can see that his he will lose intellect. What I mean is that if a person understands Islam and still rejects it, then there is one point, there is one stage where he is not able to understand the Islam even anymore. So the doors of guidance are completely closed to that person. That is a dangerous state because that person will die as a non believer and he will go to hell. So may Allah
Mhm.
protect us from that kind of state.
Hmm.
And that is why we should be humble. We should not be stubborn. We should not be uh, we should not stick to our beliefs even if they are wrong, to our customs and culture even if it is wrong. When we see that Islam teaches us something, then we have to follow it no matter what.
Hmm.
Among people, there are those, the hypocrites. Okay, who are the hypocrites? Hypocrites are those people who present themselves as Muslims, but in their heart, in their mind, they are non-Muslims. So they are hidden enemies of Islam. They are more dangerous than open enemies, or the open non-believers, because
Mm.
because they live among the Muslims. They pose Muslims as themselves. They offer the salah also. They give the charity also to give to do an act, to put an act that they are real Muslims, but in reality they are against Islam. They want to harm the Muslim community. They are called the munafiqeen or the hypocrites. Out from outside they are something else, from the inside they are something else. That is what hypocrite means. We believe in Allah and in the final day, in the day of Qiyamah. So among people there are those, the hypocrites, who say we believe in Allah and in the final day, whereas they are not mu'mineen, believers, because this belief is not in their hearts. This is what I mentioned earlier. That from the outside they are posing as Muslims and they claim that they believe in Allah and in the final day, but in reality they are not the believers. They do not believe in these realities, and they are just putting an act. They attempt to fool Allah and the mu'mineen by posing as believers, but they fool only themselves without realizing it, because they are the ones who will suffer disgrace in this world when Allah exposes them, and they will suffer in the akhirah as well when they are punished. Nobody can fool Allah. Humans can be fooled, but Allah cannot be fooled, because He has the knowledge of everything. He can see everything. He also knows whatever we think in our mind and in our heart. He also knows that. So nobody can deceive Allah. A disease of hypocrisy and mistrust is in their hearts, and Allah increases their disease because of their disbelief, because they rejected Islam despite of knowing the truth. They shall suffer a painful punishment on account of the lies they speak. Their lie is their claim that they are Muslims. So hypocrites, they claim that they are Muslim, but it is a lie, and because of this lie they will have a painful punishment. So in hell there are different stages of hell. So the non-believers are burned and they are given punishment in a deeper pit in hell. But the hypocrites, they are burned and punished in the deepest pit in hell.
Oh,
So they
Mhm.
get more severe punishment as compared to non-believers, to open non-believers. The munafiqeen, the hypocrites who claim to be Muslims but in reality they are not, they will be punished more severely as compared to non-believers. And the light, the most
Mm.
surface level punishment, or the most light punishment in hell, will be given to those Muslims who have faith but still their sins outnumber their good deeds, or their sins outweigh their good deeds, because at the day of judgment our deeds will not be counted, they will be weighed on the scale, they will be weighed
Interesting.
there. And the more sincerity we have behind our deeds, the more weightier they will become, or the more weight they will have. So for example, if a person offers 5 time prayers but he is not that much sincere, he is just doing it for the sake of doing it, uh, and now he is not he does not like to offer prayer. Actually he is just uh, punishing his own body and forcing himself to pray. His reward will be less as compared to a person who will be enjoying the salah and who will be doing it willingly, because the person who is doing willingly offering the prayers, he is more sincere, so his salah will have, for example, 70 rewards. But the person who is forcing himself to offer salah, he is not enjoying it, or he is not so much serious in it, he will get only 10 rewards. So uh, both of the people offered salah, but the quality of the salah of the first person was more higher as compared to the second one. So in this scenario, we can understand easily that good the deeds, either they are good or bad, they will be waived at the day of judgment. They will be the weight of the deeds will decide what will happen to us. It is not the number. A person can commit 1,000 sins. For example, if a person has 1,000 sins, but he has only 5 good deeds, those 5 good deeds, even if small in number, can outweigh those 1,000 sins. Hmm? So
mm,
let us give a example of take an example of this world. So maybe a person has 1,000 candies, but if he
mm,
has only huge five huge pieces of gold, those 5 huge pieces of gold can outweigh 1,000 candies. So even though 1,000 candies are huge in number, but their weight is not that much heavier as compared to 5 large pieces of gold. Both of you, are you getting my point?
Yeah,
yes.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. So when they are told, do not cause corruption, mischief on earth by preventing people from Islam and promoting kufr, they say we are but reformers, peacemakers. Behold, they are the corrupters, troublemakers, but they do not realize it. When they, the hypocrites, are told, believe like the people, the Sahaba, the companion, or the friends of the Prophet believe, they say, should we believe like the fools believe? Behold, it is they, the hypocrites, who are indeed the fools, but they do not know it. So the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, when they were ordered to
Yes,
do
yes.
anything, they would not question the Prophet. They would immediately follow the commands. And the hypocrites would make up excuses. For example, a war broke, a battle broke, and the Muslims would go fight the kuffar in the battlefield. The hypocrites would stay behind. They will make excuses. Oh, I am sick. Oh, I am very old. Oh, my wife is sick. Oh, my kids are sick. Oh, I have this problem. Oh, I cannot go. I want to go, but I do not have any horse. So they used to make these lame excuses. But the Sahaba, radiallahu anhum, the true believers, they would always go to the battle no matter what. No matter what difficulty they had, they would not stop. They would go. So uh, when those hypocrites were told, why don't you follow Islam as the true believers, the companions, the Sahaba believe, and they follow Islam, they don't make up excuses. If they make a mistake, they admit their mistake. They don't lie. They don't make up false or fake excuses. Why you do not follow? So they said in reply, they would say in reply, we are not foolish people. We don't want to destroy our economy. We don't want to destroy our businesses and our families. We want to spend quality time with our family or whatever. They will give these kind of
Mm,
excuses. So they would say, we are not foolish people. They are the Sahaba, they blindly follow whatever they are told. We are not like them. We are wise people.
mhm,
But in reality, Allah declared them to be fools. Because when you follow Islam without any questioning, then you get more rewards and you get paradise as a return. And in this world also, you gain supremacy. So the Muslims ruled for more than 1,000 years. More than 1,000 years, Muslims have ruled the world. Muslims were a superpower. They were the best in science. They were the best in economy. They were the best in military. In Europe, people would live in dirt and in mud. Their streets were very muddy. But in Andalusia, in Spain, where the Muslim ruled, the streets were lit with gas lamps at night, and the roads were
mm,
very clean and paved. The roads were not broken in the Muslim lands at that time. And the Muslim scientists were the leaders of the world in science. And the non Muslims would come to the universities of Muslims and they would study science from us, from Muslims. Muslims were ruling the world. But when they left the Quran and they left the Sunnah and they indulged in alcohol and in dance and music and women and bad things, bad deeds, they started fighting each other over money, over wealth, over inheritance. They left the teachings of Islam. And when but there was so much inner conflict, they became weak. And the enemies attacked from the outside and they captured them. They became miser and they become cowards. So
Mm-hmm.
so they
Interesting.
they they became lukewarm Muslim. They did not become, algebra. Where does it come from? Jabir bin Hayyan, a Muslim.
Uh-huh.
What about Avicenna? You call Avicenna. The English call
Oh,
Avicenna.
a
It
bit.
is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Abu Sina. He
Yes.
was a Muslim. What about other Muslim scholars? There are so many scientists. There is a huge list of Muslim scientists and scholars in philosophy. What about Rumi? What about Ibn Ghazali?
That's true.
Al Ghazali. Al Ghazali. Even the Westerners, they acknowledge the Muslim scientists. If you study Islamic history, you will know. And even in your school, maybe they also taught you some of these names. Maybe not in detail, but uh, so there
Yeah,
are
they
many.
didn't. They didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. They taught me a little bit of the names, but they also. Oh, this is kind of off topic a little bit, but they also taught how the Islamic world started the Renaissance in Europe.
Okay, they have their own reason to teach that.
Oh yeah, they had their own reason.
ठीक है? But that is not totally correct. Whatever they say, there is a little bit of truth and a little bit of falsehood. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if you want to study what happened during the Crusades, you could study the life of Salahuddin Ayyubi, the Saladin, which they call. How the Christians dealt with the Muslim lands and the Palestine when they captured it, and how Salahuddin Ayyubi uh, dealt with them when he conquered the Muslim lands back. Uh, there is a contrasting difference. There was such bloodshed during the Crusades, and the Christians killed Muslims to such an extent, the Crusaders, that the roads would overflow with blood. And you don't have to go study history. You can study the present world, what the Muslim world is facing today. What happened in Iraq? What happened in Afghanistan? What happened in other parts of the? What is happening in Palestine? What is happening in other parts of the world? So, okay, uh, they can teach you whatever but you have to keep your mind uh, neutral. You must not get biased,
Okay.
and you must know the true history of Islam. Okay, Muslims did very wonderful things, and yes, Muslims made mistakes. That is why we are in this state today, which we are in.
Mm-hmm.
It was not all rosy. It was not all rosy. The thing is that when we will start following the Quran and Sunnah again, we will again be superpower. Okay.
Okay.
During the inshallah near the end times, uh, Prophet Isa, Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, will come back. He will kill the Antichrist, the Dajjal, and he will be the Muslim king, and all the Muslims at that time will rule the world. But who will be the ones who will rule? The true practicing Muslims, not the fake ones. So this is our struggle in this life, that we have to become true Muslims before we die. This is what this Quran learning is all about, and
Mm-hmm.
this is why your parents are concerned about you, and we are all concerned. We have to be all concerned about our own faith and iman. All right, inshallah. Meet you tomorrow. Wish you best of luck. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Okay.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.